What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the CNA Critique. Today I'm going to be reviewing the new Stephen King movie Dr. Sleep, which I was lucky enough to see at a press screening at the Alamo Drafthouse. I don't know how we got Stephen King movies like Dreamcatcher, Cell, and Dark Tower before we got the sequel to arguably Stephen King's most popular book and movie adaptation, but I guess it's better late than never, right? For all you guys who follow the channel, you know how big of a Stephen King fan I am. I'm also a big fan of Mike Flanagan, who directed this movie. I think he's one of the most underrated filmmakers around. But to be honest, I was pretty skeptical about Doctor Strange going in. I found the book to be really disappointing, and I was wondering how exactly they were gonna adapt this book into a movie, especially considering the film version of The Shining differs greatly from the book version. But to tell you the truth, I was freaking out for no reason, because this movie is the best Stephen King movie I've seen since The Shawshank Redemption. So Dr. Sleep picks up very soon after the events of The Shining, which is a good place to start. It's interesting to see how Danny and Wendy deal with the aftermath of their traumatic experiences at the Overlook Hotel. And after a short while, the film jumps into the future where we meet grown-up Danny. Danny is now an adult who uses his shining abilities at a hospice where he provides comfort to dying patients, earning the nickname Dr. Sleep. Danny is then contacted by a young girl named Abra, who has the same psychic abilities he has, and is now the new target of these quasi-human, top-hat-wearing vampires that feed on people like Danny and Abra, who have these shining, psychic-like abilities. Dr. Sleep does acknowledge and reference several scenes from The Shining, like Danny riding the tricycle, the ghost twins, the blood coming out of the elevator, and the bathroom door from that famous Here's Johnny scene.
Here's Johnny!
But even with all those references, this is a movie with a very specific, isolated storyline that has no problem standing on its own. Ewan Mcgregor is great as always in the leading role, portraying Danny's progression into manhood. Danny is a character who's just trying to be good, even though he has these scars from his past that he'd like to forget, and Ewan McGregor plays that up perfectly. I also came away very impressed with the girl who plays Abra. Her name is Kylie Curran. This isn't an easy role for anyone to play, let alone someone her age, but she handles the pressure really well, complimenting Ewan McGregor and setting the table for some of the film's later, more intense moments. Rebecca Ferguson also shines in every scene she's in here as the villain, and she was easily my favorite part of the whole movie. They call her character Rose the Hat, and it's her character that really sets this movie apart from The Shining. It wouldn't surprise me one bit if Rose the Hat ends up being a classic horror movie character, because she's the main source of most of the movie's scares, and you'll be thinking about her long after the movie ends.
Yes, you run here, and then I will find you, and you will scream for years.
This is a movie that's just as much of a thriller as it is a horror movie, which is saying something because the scares in this movie are legit. I gotta give credit to Mike Flanagan because Mike Flanagan could have taken the easy route and just filled this movie with cheap jump scares, but he really does a good job here crafting a creepy atmosphere that'll keep you on the edge of your seat the whole time. I will say though, I feel like the movie's best moments is when it's sticking to the book. The moment where this movie starts recreating elements of The Shining, that's where I feel like this movie loses me a bit. But still, even with its pacing flaws and lack of direction at times, this is easily one of the best movies of the year, one of my favorite movies of the year. It clocks in at about like 2.5 hours, and not once did I check to look at my clock. If that's not a testament to how good this movie is, I don't know what is. And as a huge fan of The Shining, the Stephen King books, and Mike Flanagan, I'm happy to say that Dr. Sleep is great. Not good, great. It's an excellent and faithful adaptation that makes smart changes, especially in regards to the 1980 film and sequel book, with phenomenal performances that puts this movie over the top. I'm gonna give this movie an A- and easily worth the money spent at the movie theater. But alright guys, that's my review of Dr. Sleep. Now that you know my thoughts on Dr. Sleep, let me know what yours are. Leave me a comment below to tell me what you think. And as always, if you like this video, go ahead, hit that like and subscribe button. It's no skin off your ass, and it'll help me out a lot.